Back to the channel. Today we're going to unravel some incredibly complex events in Genoa. Rumors are circulating around the Newman family, but what's the truth? In this video, I'll summarize the plot points that will be revealed in the next episode. Stay tuned to see what happens. Hello, fellow Genoa City obsessives. Welcome back to the channel. It is currently 2 a.m. on a rainy Thursday night, which is honestly the perfect kind of weather to stay up way too late, overanalyzing the absolute chaos unfolding on our screens. Grab a snack and a blanket, because my brain is running a mile a minute and we have a massive amount of drama to unpack today. Okay, so I've been thinking about this and I just cannot wrap my head around what Diane Jenkins Abbott is doing right now. Like, I get it, she's in absolute survival mode, but the whole fake romance thing with Dr. Lawrence Markham, it's weird, like really weird. The whole thing is just weird. I mean, I know she's trying to play him, but I keep second guessing if she's actually losing her grip or if she's just putting on the performance of a lifetime. She's basically trying to convince this highly educated, though clearly unhinged, psychiatrist that she's developing deep romantic feelings for him. Wait, what was I saying? Oh, right, Stockholm Syndrome. She's faking Stockholm Syndrome. But then again, that doesn't explain why Markham is buying it so easily. Is he really that arrogant? Or maybe not, I don't know. Actually, no. First, I should mention the house. Okay, wait, let me back up. We need to talk about Markham's house and the sheer logistics of it. This place is basically a fortress. How does a seemingly legitimate doctor have a house rigged up like a maximum security black site? Probably doesn't matter, but I noticed the locks and the soundproofing in the background of the set, and it just screams premeditated villainy. Diane is trapped in this impenetrable bunker, and she knows she can't just break a window and run. So her only weapon is her manipulation. She's flattering him, stroking his massive ego, making him feel like he's this brilliant savior who is the only one who understands her. I think it was episode 12 or 13, somewhere around there where she first realized brute force wouldn't work. So now she's playing the long game. But here's what's bugging me, though. The sedatives. Diana's been practically begging for these mild sedatives, claiming she needs them to sleep and focus on her so-called therapy. And Markham, who has been so paranoid and cautious this whole time, is actually going to get them for her? I mean, not exactly, but kind of. He agreed to get them because she played the helpless, enamored patient so well. But wait, if he's a medical professional, shouldn't he know better than to hand a desperate hostage drugs? Anyway, the point is, wait, what was the point? Oh, right, Diane's plan. She is definitely going to hoard those pills. If she gets enough of them, she's going to crush them up and slip them into his drink the second he turns his back. It's a brilliant plan, honestly. But I keep poking holes in my own theories. What if he catches her? He's already highly suspicious of her every move. If he catches her drugging his drink, she's dead meat. Or worse, he'll move her to an even more secure location where no one will ever find her. But Diane is a survivor. I mean, let's not forget, this is the woman who faked her own death in a park back in 2011 and let everyone think she was murdered for a decade. A little sedative and a cup of coffee is child's play for her. But then again, Markham isn't just some random guy. He's working with Patty Williams, and Patty is the ultimate wild card. Okay, speaking of Patty, we need to talk about Jack Abbott and Kyle Abbott's absolute disaster of a rescue plan. I am so frustrated with Jack right now. What were they thinking? Kyle met with Dr. Markham, right? He cornered him, threatened to call the cops, and basically forced Markham to meet him at Crimson Lights to keep him away from the house. The plan was for Jack to sneak into the house while Markham was distracted by Kyle. It sounded solid on paper. Like, basically a standard soap opera distraction play. But they completely underestimated Patty. Why do they always underestimate Patty? It's like they have collective amnesia. about how dangerous and sneaky she is. Patty was literally standing on the street corner, eavesdropping on Jack and Kyle as they plotted the whole thing. How did they not see her? Were they talking at full volume in the middle of Genoa City? Probably. They always do. So Patty overhears the whole thing, realizes they are tracking Markham's house, and she completely ruins the plan. She intercepts Jack or warns Markham or just blows the whole thing up before it even starts. And poor Kyle. I mean, I sort of feel bad for him, but I'm also kind of annoyed at his naivety. Kyle is sitting there at Crimson Lights, keeping Markham busy, checking his watch, just waiting for that triumphant text from Jack saying he found Diane. But the text never comes. Kyle's anxiety is just radiating off the screen. He realizes Jack isn't calling. Jack isn't texting. Jack is just MIA. Kyle knows something went wrong. He knows his dad failed to infiltrate the house. So Kyle eventually leaves and runs into Tracy Abbott at Society. He's practically hyperventilating at this point. He asks Tracy if she's heard from Jack today, and Tracy confirms she hasn't heard a single peep. Tracy is immediately alarmed. She asks Kyle what's going on, and Kyle just spills everything: the break-in plan, the distraction with Markham, the risk of absolute disaster if Patty found out. And Tracy, being the only Abbott with a fully functioning brain right now, realizes exactly what happened. Patty found out. The dread that washes over Tracy and Kyle in that scene at Society, it's palpable. They know Jack is in deep, deep trouble. Which brings me back to Jack. Jack is trapped, not physically maybe, but emotionally and psychologically. He's falling right into Patty's twisted web. He won't give up hope of reuniting with Diane, but to save her, he has to play Patty's game. He has to fake a romance with Patty. He has to look into the eyes of the woman who drugged him on a yacht and pretend he wants a future with her. It's sickening. It's actually really hard to watch. Jack is losing control of his emotions. He's trying to be this stoic, calculating hero who is setting a vicious trap for Patty, but you can see the desperation cracking his facade. And here is where I go down a massive rabbit hole. Why is Jack so susceptible to Patty's manipulation? I know he's doing it for Diane, but it feels like Patty knows exactly which buttons to push to make Jack completely unravel. She's using Diane's safety as a leash, jerking Jack around. He's losing his emotional grip. He's snapping at people. He's making reckless decisions. He's basically letting Patty dictate his entire reality. I keep thinking about that yacht incident. The trauma of that has to be messing with his head right now. He's trying to out-manipulate a master manipulator who literally has no grip on reality. It's a losing game. The lies are piling up so fast. Jack is lying to Patty. Patty is lying to Jack. Diane is lying to Markham. Markham is lying to Diane. But wait, let me pivot for a second because I also need to talk about Kane Ashby and Billy Abbott being cornered. I know, it feels like a totally different show right now, but it's all happening at once, and my brain is trying to connect the dots. Billy and Kane are both backed into a corner, and it is glorious, messy chaos. Jill just came back to town and basically handed Chancellor to Kane, leaving Billy completely out in the cold. Billy is furious, he's betrayed, and he's lashing out in the worst ways possible. Billy is so desperate to prove his worth that he's secretly using Sally Spector's confidential business plans for Spector Charles to start his own venture or leak to rivals. He's literally backstabbing his own pregnant fiancée to get ahead because he feels so cornered by Jill and Kane's alliance. It's classic self-destructive Billy. But then Kane is also cornered because Devon is breathing down his neck, exposing his past financial misdeeds to the Chancellor Board, and Lily is starting to doubt him because of Matt Clark's meddling. It's like every man in Genoa City is currently trapped in a corner of their own making, desperately clawing their way out. Anyway, pulling myself back to the main point, wait, what was the point? Right, Diane and Jack. Jack is trying to lure Patty into this trap by pretending to be in love with her, but I honestly think Patty is going to realize it. She's crazy, but she's not stupid. If Patty figures out Jack is playing her, she might just order Markham to kill Diane. Or she'll move Diane to an even more obscure location. Jack is playing with fire, and he is absolutely going to get burned. And that brings us right back to Diane and the sedatives. If Diane can successfully drug Dr. Markham, she might be the one to save herself. She might not need Jack's botched rescue mission at all. I kind of want Diane to be the